Alright, so we were just getting this car velocity working. Oh yeah, and right at the end of the stream I had a weird bug in the console. I couldn't figure out what the source of it was. Oh yeah, so we've got side friction now. At least for the most part. I guess what I could do so I gotta add friction for the angular velocity. And then I also need to add better side friction. I guess I'll just add friction for the angular velocity first. I'm just thinking how I would do that. So I probably want, oh yeah. I want to get it so you can't drive the car sideways anymore either. That might be hard though, because the separation isn't accurate. I think the contact point, yeah, it gives you a normal between the two colliders, which doesn't give you the exact normal on the bottom of my collider, or whether or not it's the normal of their collider and my collider. So I'm thinking I need to apply friction to the angular velocity, but not in one direction. So like, we want to limit the angular velocity, I think, on the up vector. So I think we want to scale down the up angular velocity and add our own. Also, I'm looking right here, I'm thinking instead of scaling down velocity and doing the friction like this, we do minus right times friction. And then we can scale that back based off the delta time, I guess. Oh, wait. Okay, so wait. I gotta change this then. So this is the amount of friction. So if we want to scale down the amount of friction applied over time, I guess I would just scale it down by like a certain amount, or yeah, maybe apply POW to it. Try it like this first. This might apply the wrong way. Oh! No, it actually seems like it's working. It actually has the effect of kind of making the car drive. The angular velocity now gets kind of converted into forward velocity. That's kind of nice. Yeah, that's actually working really well. I think that's how I was supposed to do the friction in the first place. So then I can actually lower the friction here by doing like times 0.1. Yeah, and so now it's more slidey. Alright. So now I want to do something similar to the angular velocity here. So let's try completely limiting the angular velocity to begin. Okay, so now it turns incredibly slowly. Okay, so I'm gonna want to add This is actually a good thought, is I'll probably actually want to have this scaled based off your forward velocity. I'll have to see though. So there we go, we got super rigid controls. So now let's turn the friction all the way up. I guess I could add options here as well once I get the friction and things working. Oh yeah, so it's like perfect. So you can see it just keeps moving forward with no friction. And then when you turn, a little bit of friction is applied. It's actually super easy to control now. Alright, so I should find a way to turn this off. Oh wait, it's stuck. So maybe I should apply a little bit of friction, or I guess what I should calculate is I should actually calculate when it's against something. So then I could actually like calculate when it's like when it's on its side like this. I could calculate that and apply friction to account for it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these driving controls so far. Oh my god, I landed it. These are like, this is honestly pretty good driving controls. I think I might import the car now. Because like, it's at the point where it can basically drive. I'm thinking I'm also going to actually design the map better and add a road. So I think I'm gonna make the concrete, or I'm gonna add road lines to the concrete, but what I'm deciding is like, what color should the road lines be? I think I'll make them orange. It kind of bugs me that you can't tint these terrain layers. Or I mean, I guess I could actually add something. I'm actually wondering if I could take the time, I think, to access this specular data and add tinting to my terrain. I'm actually kind of tempted to do that. It would make this shader a bit slower though. Let's just go with orange noise to begin. I actually just make it pretty much flat orange, I think. Oops. Plugin has encountered an error. I don't even know what I pressed. Flip horizontal. Oops. Alright, let's get back to the road generation. Because the level design is going to be like one of the main things. I realized that I couldn't even begin properly testing how to drive the car until I had a level. So, just slowly gonna design the level to be better. I don't know about this on-ramp or any of this right now. I might disable this. At least right now. Actually, I'll keep the border. So, what I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add a grid of roads. And they're not... might actually be a little bit raised. We'll see. So I think what I'm going to detect here is whether or not it's within the border. And if it's in the border, then we're not going to do the roads or anything else. Alright, so this is the wall. I feel like actually maybe the wall will only go up to like 0.5 or 0.4 in height. So how high is the terrain? 100 units? How does this look? Does this work? Oh, so I got it backwards. Oh my god, I just went through the wall. Okay, so if you go too fast, you just go straight through things. I have learned. I'm curious, is this... Why is this not... Oh, okay. So I need to actually have it be a certain size, I think. Otherwise it won't cast a shadow here. Although, yeah, I guess that isn't too big a deal. So wait, what is 1? Oh, 0 is concrete, 1 is grunge. Alright. So now I want to do a grid of roads. So we're going to do mod with max, I think.
Make my day.
Alright, so now hopefully that should add a little bit of raised road. Actually, now that I think about that, I'm going to do this with 1 because I'm going to do this as the texturing method. So this is concrete, so the road will be concrete. Okay, so there's the beginning of our roads. Those are the repeating squares. So I think I actually need min instead of max here. Oh, there we go. So those have some issues, but that is the beginning of some roads. So it's interesting. It looks like the interpolation actually goes one way. Like these get cut off at the corner. Which I think makes sense. I think I need to center these and do negative like this. Oh yeah, I have to do abs. Or I actually just realized I could make this completely sharp and I could actually check if road X, or what's the biggest of them, I guess. Wait. Smaller than 0.01f. There we go. Those are nice. So, actually, it almost looks like the texturing is off by 1 unit. So the texturing goes over to one side. That's really weird. The texturing goes down this side, but goes up this side. Like, is there a reason it's not completely aligned? So it interpolates up here, and I guess it just doesn't interpolate as much right here. It's kind of weird. It looks good though, I'm happy with that. Actually, looks like this goes up the side. That's actually kind of weird. Yeah, I think the splat map. Why is the splat map at a different resolution? So I actually think I know what this is. I think this is the procedural terrain height map resolution ends up being different than the alpha map. Let me check this. So I bet these aren't going to be equal, and that's going to be my issue. $512 versus $512 versus $513. I knew it! I knew it! They aren't actually aligned. Why is the alpha map and the splat map not the same thing. What is going on here? So, let me think about this. Does this mean that the alpha map is actually a tile and the heights are actually vertices? So there's one more vertice than there is tiles? I think that's what they're doing, but it doesn't make sense. That is very unintuitive. That's pretty annoying. So, what is my solution for this? Like, I almost feel like I need to index these differently then. Like, so the issue is these literally don't line up. Like, what is the solution then if these don't match in resolution? What do I do to fix that? Could I do alpha map resolution +1 to make them equal? I don't think so, but I might as well try. Oh my god, I can. So now do they match up? They actually still don't match up completely. Oh, it does look better though. Okay, I think that does line up better. Alright, there's the roads. What if after doing this, I do resolution equals data.heightmap resolution, so it automatically sets the resolution to the actual resolution. Index out of range, damn. Does this automatically... It does. Awesome. Okay. So now this should be aligned. Awesome. So they actually do match up. Or at least pretty close. Actually, does look like it's still like 1 unit off. Oh my god. I wonder, does it reset as soon as I get out? Oh my god. So I should work on programming a proper third-person camera. Roads. Is this a bug? Are those shadows supposed to be there? I feel like that's a bug. And these shadows are not supposed to be here. I wonder if the pixel error is causing that. If I go into the pixel error here and I turn that down, does that... Oh my god, it fixes it. Yeah, so that's pixel error. Alright, well, that makes sense. Alright, so I need to figure out how to program it so that you can't control the car while it's on its side. See, that's going to be difficult. Maybe I will just need to just check a collider under the vehicle. Do a barrel roll. I wonder if I could get away with increasing friction when I'm in the air. Like, I wonder if... I feel like that's the ideal way to do it, is just use Unity's built-in physics system for the friction. I think that makes the most sense. So, like, I'll change the friction. So that way I can still have friction on stuff. So right now I'm just setting the friction of everything to 0. Alright, so the road should not be as high. Set the road lower. I'm wondering about this resolution too. Like, I guess I'll just automatically assign them to be the same, because it's what works best. That loop-de-loop is so fun. Alright, I think that's good. Actually, I do want another side to this. So I think I'm gonna add another side to the border height here so that it forms a wall. And then it should form a working shadow too. Nice. Alright, so to make this form a wall, I need to make the height also go down after a period. So if this is bigger than and smaller than. Okay, it worked here. Does this go all the way to 1? maybe I should subtract 1 from here. That might make it even. Nice. So now it actually forms a wall. Cool. I like this. It's like actually the base layout of a city. We've got a grid. I feel like this might be way too big. I might have made this too big. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know. I guess maybe I can make the grids bigger. I guess it... Okay, yeah, so this is bad. The way you can control the car when it's on its side, I need to fix that. So, I've been actually thinking about that. I think what I'm going to do here, instead of just checking the Y position, I'm also going to check if the X and Z are within a certain range. So I guess it doesn't matter as much of how big the city is, but how long it takes you to go through the city. So, I mean, even if it's really big, as long as you can go from one end to the other a decent amount of time. Oh my god. So the car is really unbalanced. Or it's probably just that I'm going so fast that even the slightest bump... Yeah. When you're going fast, even the slightest bump can cause Alright, while I have this view here, think about some of this stuff. I've kind of been planning of if I want to try to actually make like a game out of this that you can actually play. I think I'm gonna try to make a little free roam game where you basically like just drive a little car around a procedural city like this. I think maybe collecting coins. Basically something where it's like you just kind of drive around at your own pace and you could just kind of have fun doing flips and stuff like this. Wicked. So I feel like these roads can use, well, I think I'm gonna add paint to them, or lines. But then my thought process is also like, I feel like sidewalks, or like little raised sections, maybe not. I'm kind of actually planning, like, if I want to generate a city, what it would be like. I'm thinking there's going to be, like, a lower city that might have all this, like, disgusting dirt on the ground. And then there's going to be, like, an upper city that has actual, like, sidewalks and, like, pretty... a lot prettier. Alright, I'm gonna try putting road lines, though. Let's see if, I might need to make the roads bigger. I actually feel like relative to the box, the road size is not... I actually just realized I should put lines on both sides of the road. Yeah, the road size relative to the car isn't horrible. Fit like 2, I guess. So right here I need to decide when I want road painting. And also, what happens if these aren't normalized? I wonder if Unity will automatically normalize these. Yeah, I'm gonna need to normalize this myself. So I need to check if I guess this is what I'm checking. Let's see if this works. That did not look like it did anything. Maybe it's not big enough. Oops, that is wrong. If road minimum smaller than this, .01F. Okay. Now, why is there a line across here? lower this. I may need to actually increase the resolution. Have painting properly on the road. Oh, okay, interesting. So there's aliasing on a few and it doesn't show up. Yeah, that's definitely big. Alright, so I feel like it needs to be more detailed. Yeah, I wonder though. Like, maybe this isn't the way to do road paint. I'm actually thinking, what if... What if instead I just had, like, lines going straight across? I feel like that would actually be better than these blurry lines. So I feel like, yeah, raising the resolution of the terrain isn't the way to do this. So I'm not gonna do the line painting with the terrain. What do I want to focus on now? I kind of want to work on the car, but at the same time I feel like the level still needs so much more work. Index was out of bounds. Ah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to work on adding the lines yet until, like, if I'm not building the lines into the terrain, I'm not going to add them in yet in case I end up changing this grid shape or structure. It's crazy how just like a little bit of turning just like flips your car when going over a jump. Well, at least flips this box glider. Yeah, I think I might add this ramp in. I feel like kind of adding buildings in between those grids. But at the same time, yeah, I guess buildings actually are the next thing to add. I might, you know what? Maybe look at 3D modeling some buildings. I might just add cubes in to begin. No, I definitely feel like I at least want to do some texture mapping. Alright, so hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water. Alright. So at the beginning, I think my base building is just going to be a cube-shaped building. I might do variable sizes. See, that's the conflicting thing, is if I want to change the size of the skyscraper, then I need to, like, change the texturing. I actually wonder about doing a cube and then just changing the texture scaling of the Y. That might actually be a good way of doing it. Yeah, I think I'm literally just gonna do cube buildings. Just cube buildings. The question is though, what texturing do I want? I'm almost thinking of doing procedural texturing for the buildings, because I feel like that actually doing a procedural shader might actually be what's easiest. Like, I'm thinking world space texturing, except like a procedural, just like almost like blocky box shaped texture for lit windows or emissive windows. I guess I could make like capsule-shaped buildings too, and cylinder-shaped buildings. I wonder, a sphere-shaped building? No. I'll start with cubes, but I potentially could do different shaped buildings too, especially if it's a world space texturing. guess I actually will create a custom shader for this. Oh yeah, okay, so while I'm looking at the shaders, I figured out that I should actually create an unlit shader. Oh my god. Wait. That window popping up on the other side? Yep. Oh my god. That just triggered all the windows on my other monitor going white. So it's something about gedit. Something about gedit here triggers, it makes all the windows on my other monitor go white. So I wonder if closing gedit will fix this. I actually, AEM if you're here, I actually did run the Windows memory test, and my RAM came back with no errors detected, so pretty certain that this is a Windows bug. I wonder if it's like gedit is using like a, it's maybe using like an old API or something. So I'm curious, does Unity go white if I put it over to this monitor? Oh yeah, so it's like every... Okay, so I also saw a thing that if I go here, something, maybe if I create a new desktop, there was something I could do there that people said would fix this. No, I think all I can do is do this. Yep. So that's so weird. I wonder what causes that. It really throws off like so much just having Windows completely stop working. Like literally the Windows part of Windows stops working. And now I'm like scared to open stuff on my other monitor. Anyways, so I need an unlit shader. All of these shaders are like standard, and yeah, there's such thing as unlit shaders. So they don't have shadow bias or anything, or normal map, no emission map. I guess I should do an unlit transparent as well. Wait, I should do an unlit particle as well, shouldn't I? I should have unlit options for everything, especially particles where you could have particles that don't like, or like the way the particle shader works is there's no emission options. Alright, so let's do this unlit shader. So there's no shadow bias scale. I'm thinking of just doing unlit transparent. Actually, yeah, never mind, because these still could cast shadows. See, that's the conflicting thing, is should unlit objects cast shadows? Yeah, I'm just going to do unlit transparent because Hmm. No, no, that's still less efficient. I'm conflicted. It's like, so it's pretty much the same shader, but we delete all this and we can't use the default built-in render surface. I will actually need to take the code from this. Oh yeah, this is actually another good question. Do we want to apply fog to the unlit surfaces? And we should also apply exposure. Yeah, so I feel like fog. Yeah, this is the conflicting thing. It's like so I feel like there's objects like for example in the sky, like maybe a sun or moon, that you wouldn't want fog art on because they would be maybe very far away. But then then this unlit shader might still be overkill. So yeah, I think having an option for fog. How do I add a toggle here? Is it just toggle? Or maybe it's bool? Toggle. Yeah, so how do I get a toggle like that? Do I just do maybe toggle like this? Bool property. Okay, so it's still a Boolean. Alright, so now we do the same thing here. But then I guess I'll do a render unlit surface. Hmm. fog. Yeah, we still gotta apply exposure. Does that work? I think that should work. I guess I should do other versions though, like I should do an unlit transparent. And then a unlit particle as well. How do I mark color as HDR here? Unity material property HDR color. Because I'm using float 4 for tint here, so it's like I can use HDR colors. HDR. I just realized, should emission actually go up? I feel like emission should actually go up more than 1. Oh, I am feeding emission as fixed. Huh. I feel like that is not the best. Because if you have like a dark color, but then you still want to make it like you want to make it have dark lighting but then high emission, you would need a dark color but then high emission scale. So I actually think I'm going to change that. But then again, I wrote this code to have fixed emission. So you know what? Never mind. I guess if I want to do that, then I'm going to need to, inside here, do emission times 10 or something. Times 20, like that. I will do HDR here though, because that makes sense. So can we view these changes here? Yeah, HDR. What happens if I don't define shadow bias scale? Do I have an if not define? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Actually, so I don't even need to define this. Does that work? Does that compile? It does. Nice. So there we go. That's unlit transparent. Now just unlit particle. Oh wait, did I actually rename these as well? Wait, I have a mission AO map for particles. It'd be interesting to pass some value via color and particle, like do some custom particle that encodes via color, like encodes data via color. does this do the same thing as material toggle? It does, okay. I've actually really considered doing adding this. Actually, I guess this will be something I might do in the future, but doing another one that has lighting but is independent of the normal, so it's just like attenuation. That way you could have stuff like I don't know, like leaves with like sun shining through, or like something like a curtain where you can see the sun through it. I almost feel like that's like custom shader though, so alright, that should be good for unlit shaders. I just realized I want to change oh yeah, change emission. Wait, was I gonna change emission? No, I don't think I was gonna change emission actually. Never mind. I'm just going and making sure I changed all the ones I want to HDR. Alright, so there is unlit shaders. Alright, now what I'm going to do is world space textured building shader. Or I actually think I might do procedural texturing for this. So I'm just going to start by copying the standard shader. Oh wait, also just making sure. No wait, it would give me errors if I was making sure that I changed the names of the new shaders I made, but it would give me errors if I didn't do that, so. Oh wait, maybe it wouldn't. It's not giving me errors right now. Let me check. Yeah, okay. Building. So then here, instead of a texture, we're going to do procedural texturing based off the world position. Alright, I'm going to go get some water though. I'll be right back. Actually, first I'm going to put some music back on. It's hard to tell if this music is going to get louder or not. Alright. It's so weird. Some of the songs are so loud. Some of them aren't that loud at all. Alright, anyways.
Go. Go.
Let's see who's behind that mask. Rat's nest.
In my business, you don't trust anybody.
So, this is actually cool because I could actually simulate ambient occlusion with this by scaling this down as the world position gets closer to the bottom. So that might actually be nice. So right now this should just draw the buildings green. So I think I'm going to look at making that as a material and rendering it. Failed to compile. Really, it's not listing it under failed to compile. That's weird. Cannot open source file. Cartoon render pipeline. Let's see what you include. So, I wonder if I have to do assets.
Successful activation.
Alright, now let's spawn in the buildings. Hold on 1 second, the wind's about to slam my door shut.
Unitary cohesion. Sentient AI. Jane Taylor.
Alright, so now we gotta place these objects at their world position. And maybe even rotate them or something, we'll see. I wonder, should I combine these with static batching utility? I think I should. Batch utility versus setting static. What's the difference between static batching utility and just setting objects static?
Extraction. Insert data. Activation. Successful activation.
Prepares all children of static batch group for static batching. I guess I should be using this. I should be using this, okay.
Syncretic evolution.
Wait, how do you add one game object to another? guess setting parent is the way to do it.
I'm scared to get close. I hate being alone. I long for that feeling to not feel at all. The higher I get, the lower I'll sink. I can't drown my demons. They know how to swim. I'm scared to get close. I hate being alone. I long for that feeling to not feel at all.
Alright, let's see if this place is buildings everywhere. Alright, looks like it placed them, they're just not the right scale. Nice.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me where I'm from. Listen up. Ain't nobody gonna tell me where I'm from. Listen up.
So that looks like it made them too big. I wonder if I make the shape a capsule instead of a box, will it collide better? I have a feeling it won't go flying up as much if I make it a capsule instead of a box. Oh, it doesn't stay straight up because it's a capsule that can rotate, of course. So I wonder if there's a way that I can add like a bumper. So just going with this box collider. Going with this box collider. How could I add like a bumper? What if I add another collider? Like maybe adding a small sphere collider to the front. So how do I reset this scale to nothing? Like, how do I counteract... How to counteract the parents transform? How to avoid scaling heritage when parenting. So I guess the only way to do this is to manually counteract the scale. Oh my god, it works. So putting the sphere collider at the front of it here. Oh, said who? So you want to see what I just fixed? So I'm trying to create a car out of a box, and it works pretty well. But I found that when the box goes over cracks, so like right here, my loop-de-loop, it's got a crack like right here. You see the car kind of bounces up when I hit the crack. Move the sun back. So you'll see if I hit this, it launches it in the air, which is not what's supposed to happen. So like whenever the car... Oh wait, I should turn the music down. Whenever it hits like the crack where it enters the loop-de-loop, it flies up in the air. It's not supposed to do that. And the issue is it wouldn't just be the loop-de-loop. Anytime it hits any tiny difference in surface, it will bounce up in the air. So I was like, okay, what if I just add a sphere collider to the front of it so that it's rounded, and when it hits the crack, it'll smoothly like shift to the normal because it's a sphere. And you see, it fixes it. I'm actually and the loop-de-loop works. I'm actually so impressed with this. Like, the physics aren't even bad. Like, it's not even that bad for a box just kind of driving around. I gotta add a proper third-person camera, though. But yeah, this is my life right now, trying to make a free roam racing game. I got a little procedural city going, and I got janky physics where you can fly through walls. It's got everything you need. And broken car physics. But yeah, the fact that this loop-de-loop actually works, like you can go through the loop-de-loop and spin around it. I honestly didn't think that was gonna work. I don't know why, but I didn't think loop-de-loops were something that actually, like, worked. You can actually loop-de-loop around something if you go fast enough. I guess it's just physics if you think about it. It's really hard, but there's a few things I gotta fix still. How have you been? I didn't think it would just work either. Yeah, I don't know about just work. That's the thing, is like, you think things work, and then it doesn't just work. So it's like, it could just work right now, but then it doesn't just work in a little bit. I'm actually just about to do a procedural shader for the buildings. Looking at different coolers. Ooh. You got a submersible fan, so does that mean water cooling? Have you seen that new Noctua passive cooler? No. Passive cooler designed for fanless operation. What? Wait, so fanless, does that mean there's water in it, but it doesn't cool the water with anything? What? It's nothing fancy, just uses natural convection? Yeah, but like, you literally need a fan, don't you? Otherwise the heat is gonna build up way too much. I want to hear about someone actually using this. Fins are far apart and thick. People are crazy. Like, I wonder too, like, does it depend what country you live in?
Noctua finally.
Because I imagine that, like, if you live in a cooler country, it's gonna work a lot better than in a country where it's hot. Like, is it... Okay, let me put this another way. Isn't this literally piggybacking off your air conditioning then? Like, if it's convection, then you're basically saying that the air conditioning of your house is basically going to be cooling it. Isn't that, like...
Noctua finally launched their passive CPU cooler, and on the box there's a sticker that says fanless cooling for high-end CPUs, and honestly I didn't know I could be this aroused by a sticker. So what we're gonna do with this cooler today is, yes, see if it can cool CPUs, but then I'm gonna do some unholy things to it. But before we get into that, there's a sponsor for today. This is the accessory pouch that can actually attach of a medium planet, but that's good, right? So you can see that it's got path for air in just multiple directions, so it can actually go through the side of the heatsink as well, along with the top, the back, the front. Like, there's just so much easy access for air in this cooler, which makes a lot of sense for a passive design. Mounting this cooler is really easy. It uses standard Noctua mounting hardware, which is pretty idiot-proof. I did notice that in the user manual there is a link to a website which not only has hilarious stock pictures of people doing business, but it's also got an extensive breakdown of various suitable use cases for this cooler, and there's even a CPU compatibility list. I would definitely check that out if you are in the market for one of these coolers, because it is passive. It's a lot more case sensitive than a cooler with a fan on it. Now obviously later in the video we are going to completely ignore all of those recommendations, but before we get into that, let's strap it to an i9 11900K and see how well it handles that hot boy CPU in a light-ish gaming load.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
What
What are the
GTA 5
results?
running, and the temperatures are climbing pretty quickly. Okay, but we're currently running at, like, you know, high 60s, low 70s on the CPU. I'm curious to see how long it's going to be able to keep this up. If it'll be able to, like, if the temperatures will stabilize, or if it's going to keep climbing until nuclear fusion happens.
It
Now, at
kind
this point, we've done
evened
a
out at 80.
full just lap of the GTA 5 map. And yeah, it's in the high 80s at this point, mid to high 80s. So I'm gonna do another lap and see if it can handle that, because yeah, at this point it's doing better than I was expecting.
What's the room temperature? And it looked like the guy had a fan pointed at it. And it's outside of a case right now, isn't it? So like, this is absolute best case scenario because you're gonna have it in a case.
Failed attempt to steal a car. I am at the point where I've done 2 rounds of the map, and yeah, it's not even started throttling yet. I guess it will at some point, but I'm very quickly losing interest. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch off 2 of the cores and then reduce the core frequency a little bit, and then see how it handles that kind of situation.
Yeah, wow, it
Now
didn't
here
start throttling
we have
yet.
it running with only 6 cores on the 11. Get ghetto really quickly. Now the reason that I'm down to about the mid 60s, so yeah, hopefully the cooler will try that out. Okay, so this is gonna get ghetto really quickly. Now, the reason that I have a PCIe riser cable is because it's going to be really difficult to like mate these two together. So if we have a PCI riser cable, we can actually lie the graphics card flat down, so then gravity will give us a bit of help. But the problem is, as you can see here, the cooler is lopsided. So I can't just use gravity and hope that the weight of the cooler can give us decent thermal contact. Although it is pretty heavy, so it may help, but I'm not 100% sure though. I'll have a fan kind of blowing on. Sometimes my genius staggers even myself. So what we have going here is we have the cooler like zip tied down at the base, and then we've got a microphone stand that's kind of holding it up. So you can see that it's leaning quite nicely against that microphone stand.
Jesus
when you're looking
Christ.
down here, I don't think we've got the best thermal contact going here, but I think it should do the job because I've got quite a lot of thermal paste under there. And then back there, we have what is definitely the most important part, a GT1030 heatsink just thermal padded to the VRAM. So yeah, I don't know, this may actually work. Yeah, let's power it up and see if anything interesting happens. Hey, look at that, we've got a video out. Okay, it's slowly starting to put bits of load on the GPU, and the temperatures are climbing quite rapidly. I have a feeling the moment that it's going to load into the game, it's just going to be sod. Oh, straight to 90 degrees Celsius, and it's immediately
Holy
throttled down to 300 megahertz.
That
yeah, I
is
don't think this is
very
going
interesting.
very well.
I did not think that the temperature rose that quick, but that actually makes sense. That's pretty interesting.
Yo, so if I push it down, look at how quickly the temperatures drop. There's definitely...
Yeah, so it's not against the heatsink properly. That's very interesting though. I feel like this is basically like, correct me if I'm wrong, you could literally get more by just making a bigger case. Like, if you're gonna dedicate all this space in your case to this, wouldn't it just be better to just have like more airflow and a bigger case than getting like a giant hunk of metal? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That is a very interesting concept though. I feel like, so the way that works of using like natural convection of solid surfaces to distribute the heat, I feel like the solid chunk of metal is actually not like it's all wasted space. Like, I don't know how to put it, but like the optimal way I feel like would be like a wire layout where you have it pressed down on the heatsink and then you have like almost like wires of metal extending out, basically like maximize the distribution and surface area of the metal. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? You need like a solid contact to the heatsink, but after that you want it to like branch out and basically have as much surface area as you can to like I don't know, convect the heat or like touch air. Like I mean, in this case it's air that's transferring the heat from the metal, right? So it's like, I don't know, I feel like if you designed a case, I feel like that is something where you could literally design a case to have like metal radiators going through it, and it would be a better sort of passive cooler than that. Like, you could integrate the passive cooler into the case, but with like that, you're literally putting a metal block that's just wasting space in your case. It's an interesting idea though.
Yuan, while it's under a 68 watt .net. Most recently, that'd be from those of you buying our wireframe mouse mats, which are in stock and shipping now, and from those of you on patreon.com/gamersnexus. Thank you for the help in buying this stuff. Schlieren Photography splits light to image the air density gradient. This doesn't show heat, and it's not infrared, but rather it shows sort of the movement of the air as the density changes. In this clip, we're showing how the heat passively rises off of the P1 while it's under a 68 watt R5 3600 heat load at steady state. If you look closely between the fins, lower down especially, you'll see very little density change in the wide gaps between the plates. But you can see the air drifting closely to and clinging to the plates. These wide spaces between the plates ensure that enough space is available for passive cooling without heat getting trapped by the other plates nearby. At the top of the fins, we can see where the hot air pools and drifts up naturally, following the basic physical law of heat rising. We often remind everyone that heat rising stops mattering when you talk about equipping a case with multiple 2000 RPM fans or one attached to a cooler, but in passive cooling, it becomes important because the fins need to remain vertically unobstructed, including by other fins in the stack. That's to enable natural dissipation of heat. The left side of the cooler is interesting. This is where the heat pipes protrude through the plates, and you can see the highest change in air density in this area. We also tried mounting a fan to the top of it, just for perspective, and this overpowers any natural processes, obviously, and funnels the air conically upwards when set as updraft. This was using the Noctua A-Series fan, but we also set it into Noctua's recommended downdraft configuration, where you can see the fan actually pulling air in that's originally drafting up and off of the sides of the heat pipes, sending it back into the cooler. So it's pushing warmed air into the cooler, but it's still a net positive versus just the passive cooling alone. It's just less efficient. The benefit is that it would help VRM components when pushing down, but that's out of scope for this imaging. Mounting a fan to the side and pushing the air through the cooler resulted in chaos in the Schlieren photography. The only thing interesting we saw here was the speed at which the air density
isn't very
above
useful,
the
but it looks very
heatsink
cool.
changed. Despite the fan being directed through the cooler, we were seeing a lot of change above core hardware with Bob to explain the steps. Noctua doesn't IHS and you'll be good. For Intel LGA 115X and 1200 and in behavior of the passive cooler and also the fit, some may need to move down a slot depending on how packed the motherboard is. 60 millimeters, and most cases stop at 150 millimeters depth, if that. Noctua has provided a list of compatible cases, including some from technically. Obviously, if you're okay with some noise, you don't need a novelty, you don't need the functionality of being basically dust-free, or you don't need the functionality of being basically noiseless, then don't buy this because it's not for you. It doesn't make sense at $110. It's far too expensive. You're going to get much better thermal performance out of something like a Liquid Freezer 2.
Yeah, I feel like that's the summary, is that if you really care this much about not having fans and not having noise, then yeah, but it's worse in basically every other case. And so, like, the point of a PC is to get good, or at least for me, it's like you're trying to get the best performance out of the PC, so obviously a fan or whatever is going to give the most thermal performance. I mean, to be fair though, there are a bunch of people who don't really care about performance and more care about aesthetics, so I guess that's also fair. C14s is actually good. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything. Like, I mean, I guess I do know stuff, but it's like, I feel like I don't want to say this is this good or this is that. Like, I feel like these videos of actually testing them out are the best that you can do, but even then, I still would want like a, I don't know, like to test it out myself. Because I feel like even in the videos, it doesn't show you with exactly like what type of setup you would have or what parts you would have, or the odds of someone having the exact same parts and setup. I also didn't know before wanting to upgrade. I'm just checking things out. I didn't even know, like, I kind of knew passive cooling existed. I just didn't know exactly what it was. But it's interesting to see the new things that are out. I'm actually really curious, like, I wonder if thermals on new processors is actually getting worse. Like if we need, like, are we gonna need more fans than we are gonna need space for new, like, are we gonna reach a point where we're spending more money on fans than GPUs or CPUs because the CPUs or GPUs create so much heat? Because, like, that's where I feel like Moore's Law is heading. Well, if it just gets too hot, we'll just add more fans or cooling, right? But I guess there is a limit. Passive cooling is kind of, you need a low heat CPU. I'm also thinking about like when you're doing shader programming on ShaderToy, there's a bunch of times where I bet your GPU is literally running more than that guy's demo in Grand Theft Auto. Like when you're on ShaderToy, there's times when your GPU's running like 100%. Like it's fucking using each bit of each thread, each core, each warp it can do to render out those pixels. And I feel like that would almost benchmark it more than it depends what you're doing though. You would actually need something that would use a lot of RAM. So I'm doing very basic procedural texturing right now. I'm not even sure what exactly I'm going for. I'm just gonna try to make some, like, I don't know, simulate buildings with windows. I should actually start this up and then pause it, so now I can look at the buildings. So this green shader is what I'm editing right now. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna start with just like repeating space. It's kind of complicated because I'm not exactly sure what I even want yet. So part of me wants to just put like a cool fractal pattern on the side of the buildings, because it's like, why not? Why not just make it cool? So we'll see. I'll try just adding cubes, and I may just end up doing some other cool pattern. Alright, so now this is the length of the box. So I think step is a function in HLSL. Do step be hello Z Heathenix. Or XI Heathen IX. And I guess I'll just start by maybe making the windows glow. I don't know, I guess I could make them a different color. What is red and green? Is that yellow? How are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Oh, undeclared identifier mix. Oh yeah, it's lerp in HLSL. Vec4 color equals vec4 step abstract. Dude, you're writing it before I am. Come on. Okay, so it's all yellow now. It's supposed to be is my step function wrong? Okay, I'm confused. Maybe step is different in HLSL. Oh, this is a cool block. Mapping between HLSL and GLSL. Yeah, but so swapping the arguments wouldn't work right now because it would show, like, if it was the arguments, this would fix it right now. This is a nice, useful page, though. Yeah, I don't think there's any difference. This is just returning 1 constantly. Length, max, abs, minus 0.2. Maybe because this is 0 instead of float 3. Okay, wait, let's take this step by step. I'm going to visualize the world position. So we'll see if this is... So this should be a repeating gradient of the world position if this is working correctly. Okay, so there's our gradient of the world position. So we do have repeating world position. So mod 1 minus 0.5 means it goes negative 0.5 to 0.5. Then we absolute value that, subtract 0.2, which it'll be going negative 0.5 to 0.5. Shaders are great. You can literally just use a window texture, but this is more flexible. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm also my goal is to make all of these buildings slightly different. So doing that with textures and either changing the texture of each building or changing the material of each building would be a lot less efficient as well. So this is like funny because it's actually easier and probably more efficient. And this is actually good practice if, like, especially if I'm having trouble with this. This is good practice for more complicated stuff. Alright, I'll just try visualizing B. So this should give the length. Yeah. Oh my god. I get it. Oh my god, I get it. It's because I'm doing 3D cubes and not, I'm doing 3D cubes and not 2D, which basically means that there's like these areas where it's non-zero because it doesn't completely line up. So I think, like, this is actually the complicated thing, is how would I fix this? I would actually need it to align this to, like, okay, I've got a theory for this. What if I multiply the position by the inverse of the absolute normal? So basically, like, it'll simulate, or hopefully simulate, only happening on one direction. No, that did not change anything, at least yet. World position times 1 minus normal. So if the normal is like x, then x will end up being 0. And x and z. This actually should work from what I'm thinking. So like when the normal's facing x, then 1 minus 1 will be 0. Maybe I need to do like that. No. At least I have a pattern. The other thing is going to be aliasing on the buildings in the distance. I might need to like simulate anti-aliasing at the end. Could have the world position dotted with the normal. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. But it would be like the opposite, where it's like dotted outside the normal. So I'm just thinking, if this defaults to 0 and then subtracts 0.5, that would actually explain it. Oh my god, did this fix it? Oh my god, I think I somewhat got it. Actually, it doesn't look even. I need to sleep so soon, that's good, that's somewhat right. I mean, if you're sleeping now, your sleep schedule is getting better. You're almost on, like, regular time zone. I have to work in 10. In 10 minutes? That conflicts with needing to sleep. Oh, 10 p.m. Damn. Yeah, it was almost like 5 p.m. So I know what's happening here, and I don't know how to fix it. It's fine, like I don't need to sleep much, just enough so I'll not die. That's a lot of sleep though, because everyone dies. Wait, but dying is sleep. Yeah, the NR200 case is just amazing. I've been playing My Summer Car. That game is amazing. Wait, My Summer Car. I think I'm confusing that with this road trip game. Is it literally just a road trip? My Summer Car is the ultimate car owning, building, fixing, and tuning. And permadeath life survival simulator. What the hell? Okay, hold on. I gotta see this.
Early access onto highway is fatal. Early access to cylinder head leaves pistons out. Early access to shiny paint job does not make the car run. Early access to diesel engine takes time. Early access to car parts is expensive.
So, the game has literally
Early access
everything.
to car inspection is a fine. Early access to windshield wipers does
Yeah,
nothing.
it almost seems like a comedy.
Early access to empty radiator ends like this.
You have to work it out
Early
and go
access to
back
storage is a crime.
Oh my god. And there's gambling machines.
Early access to driving might
This
cause major
looks
engine
like
fire.
GTA. This literally looks like a small single-player GTA in the Finnish wilderness. I love it, and I love that this is probably, I bet this is the developer commentating over it. This is maybe a custom engine. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. My Summer Car engine. It uses Unity. No, it's a Unity game, but that doesn't mean it's not nice.
Early access sauna is a cold place.
Of course, okay. Wouldn't it be a Finnish game if they didn't have a sauna?
Welcome everybody.
Welcome, everybody. Oh, is this an actual... Is this the actual release?
You can solve a puzzle. You can't order stuff from internet. You can feel like king of the road. You can't use social media. You can assemble a gadget that outputs mostly smoke. You can't lay down doing nothing.
This is a good trailer. This is the type of trailer games need, where it's literally just showing gameplay. This is what I wanted to see at Gamescom.
You can feel hot without being good looking. You can be a complete tool. You can't have upgrades. You can't go to Las Vegas.
Okay, so the dev's voice, he's just saying things you can't do. You can't go to Las Vegas while you use a shitty lottery machine in like a gas station. Like, I guess that's Finnish humor, it's pretty funny.
Fear while upside down. You can't afford this car. You can be a happy customer.
Tää on niin vaikeeta tää vitu elämä ja ainakin auton katsastaminen on niin vaikeeta.
You can have a Christmas.
You can have a Christmas. You have to play this. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I bet the reviews are all good. I killed a man and kidnapped him and threw him into a pond. It's literally GTA. This is literally finished GTA. This game is probably the best game, 259 hours on record. The best game I've played yet. True demonstration that a game doesn't have to look good to be enjoyable. Very accessible to low-end computers, but don't expect to play it on a 2007 laptop. Complex, laid back, and funny at the same time. My Summer Car shows a game set in summer 1995 Finland. You are a 19-year-old young man tasked to rebuild his father's old car, a Satsuma Amp. You need to do trial and error to build it, but when it's done, it's done. You decide of its fate. You can earn money in various ways. Empty sewage wells, deliver firewood, make and sell alcohol. Few more that I have forgotten. You can die easily driving on dirt roads, is deadly and not on dirt roads only. There is far too much content and details in this game that I can't say them all. And in short, I like to call this game a 90s Finland life simulator. I mean, you even need to not die from a ripped bladder, so very good game. Enjoyable by everyone. Wait. What's up with Finnish people and ripped bladder? I'm Googling this, hold on. Like, what? Wait, is that actually a thing in Finland from drinking, or like... How the fuck does that even happen? Game sucks, follow exact tutorial takes 20 hours. World of possibilities. You can fix a car and fit in it with tuning parts. You can go to the store and buy groceries. You can get a job driving a truck or pick up strawberries. You can drive your car for fun. You can watch TV. You can buy a computer and play games all night. Or you can drink and drive all day. Smoke like a chimney and pee everywhere until every part of your house is filled with pee stains. As I said, world of possibilities. Oh my god, it's GTA. Finnish GTA. It scares me that this guy has 259 hours on record. There must be a lot to do in that game. The game is huge. Really? Game is huge, it just doesn't look like it. So many vehicles, how much it costs? 25? 16. I don't have time to play it though. At least right now. I still have like, every time I start building a list of like games to play, I forget a bunch of the games at the beginning of the list and then move on to some other games. It's not really working. Yeah, $16.99 I think. Honestly though, it seems worth it. Seems like a bunch of people really like the game too. What in the hell is happening here? Why is this not working? Okay, we've got polka dotted buildings, but they still aren't lit up all the way. Alright, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I'm going to do fractals because blocks are not going to be interesting. I mean, actually an XOR pattern might be interesting, but you can't use XOR on a bunch of platforms, so... Or bitwise instructions are not nice on GPUs. Looks classy. I guess it's like a polka dot city now. Can use like a sine wave or something. Yeah. It honestly doesn't look too bad though. Like, I mean, it is not too bad. They at least kind of look like buildings now. Okay, I'm gonna do a fractal. I love fractals. I gotta think about how do I want to do it. I gotta choose a period of repetition. I really thought that game was made in a custom engine. Just like the way it looks, or it's literally like 100 megabytes. Unity is pretty lightweight. Like, Unity by itself is like 25 megabytes, which is honestly pretty small. To put it into perspective, Unreal Engine is 200 megabytes. Like, if the smallest an Unreal Engine game can be is like 200 megabytes. Yeah, that is insanely compact compared to most games these days. So I gotta choose how much I want it to repeat over. Go to sleep. I only have like 4 hours to sleep. Yeah, that would not be enough time to sleep for me. I can't take naps because it like I can't sleep for a small amount of time. Like, it makes me feel more tired. It's weird. Alright, talk to you later, man. I'll see you around. Well, especially on Discord, I'm sure. I mean, either I'll just be dead. Yeah. I get what you're saying then by you don't need sleep. Got my lib to compile as a DLL on Windows. Nice. Getting your functions to export in the DLL can be tricky. So that'll be nice. Are the free type binaries for Windows too? Yeah, what does Hamza use? Is that right, Hamza? I'll have to test the whole project, but it's going to be some time. Dude, I improved it a lot. I'll have to get a lot of stuff back in and fix problems. Was going to Windows that difficult? Yeah, I'm gonna need like a hash function here. You called it before I even thought about it with needing a hash function. So I don't have to reparse shit over and over again. I'm looking through ShaderToy. I'm like, I guess I'll just copy a hash function, but I have this dithers shader here that I was like, well, I think maybe I could copy one of these and use this as a hash function technically. But none of them take in vec3. God damn it. This variable fractal tiles is basically what I'm going for. But I guess less complicated. Oh, this uses integer instructions. So I want a hash that uses floats, because this might be running on old GPUs. Yeah, maybe I'll just make my own. I guess I'll keep this code up, because I might do something similar to this. Float for hash. I'm just thinking, like, because for joining groups, there's a table for which tells each Arabic there's a table for that which tells that each Arabic character joining group is, and if I'm trying to find out if a character has to change based on surrounding characters, I have to do a linear search to that. That's the slowest part of the code right now. Is it like dependent on any libraries like FreeType? Like, does it use any external libraries? Or no, it uses FreeType. Yeah, and you said that was just to load in the SDF or whatever, right? That's to load in the tables only. But yeah, SDS are also loaded by FreeType. Do you think you're eventually going to try to load in FreeType data yourself, like the tables? I feel like you're really close. Like, it's a ton of work already, but like, I feel like it's like pretty close to just being its own library. Tried pushing my changes to GitHub. I'd like to show the changes to make it work on Windows, but I need to set up SSH. Ah, yeah. Do you just like, you look at installing Git on Windows? Like, I just have, where is it? Shit, I don't even... Okay, maybe it's not here anymore. I used to have a thing that was like... Okay, where is it? Oh, here we go. Git bash here. Yeah, if you get Git for Windows, you can just like... It automatically sets up. It basically is an SSH client, you're right. I think I actually saw that I could use the SSH client I had for it, but... Having it built into all of your files so you can just like right click and just upload files is really nice. Gonna generate some random multipliers for this. So we're just going to find some different multipliers here to multiply this by. And then this is going to be how we seed our hash. I want to see how this looks. Redefinition of BP. Okay, so this is our hash on the large scale. Let me... Okay. Doesn't really look like it's showing up. B equals rand. So there's our pattern. Why does it eventually disappear when we make it smaller? Git for Windows will probably help me. That is what I suggest. So this is a bad hash, but it is a hash. Your game is already better than that drifting game. It's fun. That's what matters. Oh. This might need to get scaled down or something. I have a few things that I don't understand. Why is this flat? So this should go between... So these should actually be different grayscale values, but instead you can see it's like binary. It's either on or off, yellow or gray. This rand value should theoretically be grayscale. Oh, there we go. It's got a bit of grayscaleness to it there. I guess it's these multipliers or whatever. There we go. So now we actually have gradients. That's good. Okay. So now I need to find a way to get this looking random. I guess maybe just find the right multipliers for this. Now, why does that disappear as soon as it goes to 0.1? That's so weird. I guess the values get smaller and smaller. Finally push, my Git credentials are just wrong. Ah, that I also struggle with. I just realized what my issue is. The multipliers are too big. This should be much better. I'm just statically building with free type into hamza.dll or hamza.lib. Oh, nice. So you don't even need any free type DLLs. It's just, you just build with it. No, I got the DLLs myself in the repo and static libs. I just need the static libs. Ah. So, like, DLLs are dynamic link libraries. So if it's using the DLL, then it's actually using dynamic linking. So I'm actually curious about that. Like, if you need the DLLs, then it actually is doing dynamic linking for whatever reason. Oh, wait, okay, I'm gonna scale the magnitudes of these. I have some ideas for what's the best way to generate, like, random numbers for these multipliers. I was curious, too, like, can you build a static lib, add code to it, then make a DLL, but apparently it's possible. I had to also disable a bunch of MSVC warnings. MSVC is just weird, to be honest. Yeah, it is. It is weird. I used to feel bad, like, I used to think, like, oh, my code is bad because it doesn't conform to these standards and the warnings, but, like, the warnings for things like, okay, imagine every time you want to cast, like, a float to an integer, like, it warns you that that's not safe. Like, that's just so dumb. It basically, like, you can turn off warnings and you can write less code and do the same thing because you don't get warnings telling you you can't do basic shit that you can do in C. Then I should be able to multiply this. Okay, we've almost got a hash. This actually doesn't look bad now. This is kind of a hash. MSVC is complaining because I'm using Pragma GCC, IV dependency, and other IV dep and other pragmas. MSVC can't parse, which is funny. You're not supposed to worry about that. What is IV dep? I know there's GCC pragmas, but what is IVV dep or IV dep? Instructs the compiler to ignore assumed vector dependencies. To ensure correct code, the compiler treats an assumed dependence as a proven dependence, which prevents vectorization. This pragma overrides the decision. Use this pragma only when you know that assumed loop dependencies are safe to ignore. Will not vectorize without the IVDep pragma since the value k is not known. Vectorization would be illegal if k smaller than 0. The pragma only binds. Huh. Like, I'm doing manual vectorization, so I'm using it wrong. I don't know what right is. I'm the wrong person to try to comprehend that. Anyway, man, good night. I'll just waste all your time. I'm about to finish streaming anyways. It was good talking to you. Have a good luck with your sleeping or whatever it is you'll end up doing. I'll sleep 4 hours. That's not bad. Think I'm happy with this hash. And that is that will be the basis for this stuff. I think I'll at least try to get this fractal display put in. I'm just thinking, do I want to do this same sort of fractal iterations? I think I'm just going to apply the same thing just differently. Now, how do I shift this random based off? I guess I maybe could do rand plus absolute value of that. Type mismatch. Yeah. Well, I went pretty long today before I started losing my voice. That's good. Oh, nice. So we got complete noise now, which is actually good. That's what we were going for. Alright, interesting. Divide by 100. And now this gives us... Okay, we've got different rotating patterns of lights. That's not too bad. Those look like nice cartoonish buildings. Alright, I think that's gonna be it for me today. I think that was pretty good development, honestly. Like, I was really happy with how I got the car working today. The friction and everything is feeling good. And then, like, I was not expecting putting this sphere on the front of it to actually work when it comes to... So we had this issue where when you go across like a ramp or a loop-de-loop, there's like a tiny little bump or difference in the collider, and when our box collider hits it, it caused it to fly up in the air. So like you wouldn't be able to smoothly go across this loop-de-loop. But, oh my god, I just did it completely smoothly. But attaching a sphere to the front of it that adds rounding for when you go over it fixed it completely. And like, this is so cool. Look at this. You can repeatedly go on the loop-de-loop. It's just like, I don't know, I wasn't expecting it to be this fun, just kind of driving a box around this little shitty city, but that's kind of the goal of this, is just making a fun little free roam game. Anyways, that was the Unity development stream today. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I'll be doing that again a bunch. I do a lot of programming and development here, so if you like that, stick around. Anyways, I'll see you around. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye. I'll see you around.